Messi is FIFA's princess. FIFA is always favoring Messi, right? And there's evidence. This is what somebody told me yesterday. Now, I tried to sit down with a friend and we had a discussion about how FIFA is favoring Messi, right? And I told him to start from the last World Cup. Give me instances from that last World Cup where FIFA favored Messi. But then I gave him some conditions. In fact, we even had to say, okay, let's put this money. If you're able to point this out, you take this money. If not, now I gave some conditions. The first condition is that everything you will say to prove that FIFA favors Messi has to be fact. We must verify it immediately online through credible sources. It must not be assumptions, conspiracy theories. It has to be fact. Things that are real, things that make sense, right? Then we started from the first match of the last World Cup, where Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, right? When all the matches Argentina played up until the final. Now, he said in the last World Cup, they gave Messi 5 penalties. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Let's look at those penalty incidents individually. He said, no, it doesn't matter. They gave Messi 5 penalties. I said, no, now, we have to look at them individually, right? We can't just say they gave Messi 5. No, penalty is part of football. So we have to look at them individually. Then we started watching the highlights of those penalties. From the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. He couldn't find any reason to say any of them was not a penalty, not one. But he wanted to keep pushing the narrative of 5 penalties. 5 penalties. Generalize it, 5 penalties. And you see, that is where the manipulation comes in. Most content creators on this space who are Ronaldo fans, right? Or who are doing rage bait, or who are using this whole, one thing people must understand again is that conspiracy theory sells a lot on the African social media platform. I know a guy, let me digress a little. I know a guy who does political content to educate people. 2 guys. They started content creation at the same time. What one does is, he is a critical thinker and he tries to focus on responsibility. When analyzing politics, telling the fellow Africans, you have to take responsibility, you have to do this. Then there's another guy whose duty is just blame everybody else. Conspiracy theories. He will even bring AI videos and say these were things that happened. Guess who is growing faster? The guy who is doing conspiracy theory. Because again, according to research, 99.60% of humans are not critical thinkers. I saw that research somewhere. Only 0.4 are critical thinkers. So of all humans on earth, people who will ask questions, use their mind. Because again, thinking requires effort. So this is why you just hear statements like this and they make sense to you. FIFA gave Messi 5 penalties in the last World Cup. That means it was rigged for him. Oh yes, that's true. Why with 5 penalties? Come on. But look at those penalties one after the other, just like I did with my friend. He couldn't say one of them wasn't a penalty. But when even him said he was shocked as to how he believed that. Because now we have to look at the penalties one after the other. Right? I'm happy that I was able to deliver him from that one. Then there are others. Now, when you hear the World Cup was rigged for Messi, it was impossible. The whole process of the World Cup from the start to the beginning, to the end rather, you can see the whole steps. FIFA World Cup draws are done before the tournament. They are done, they are decided before the tournament, right? Let's even now focus on the final, Argentina versus France. In that final, France got 2 controversial penalties. You understand? 2 controversial penalties in that final. We even watched the detail. Even he himself agreed that one of those penalties was a little bit controversial. And guess what? Argentina was leading 2-0. So FIFA somehow wanted Argentina to win the World Cup. But after Argentina was leading 2-0, they awarded France 2 penalties in the final and they equaled it. Guess what again? The game didn't end there. It had to go through extra time. It had to go through penalty shootouts. Now, we all know that people with brain all over the world know that penalty shootout is a game of luck. So, it cannot be predetermined. Except maybe France were in on the plan to deliberately miss their own penalties. Even in that scenario, there are Argentina players that will also fire over the crossbar. It's also that these are things that happen in penalty shootout, just like the case of Gabriel recently. You understand? So how was it scripted? And now there's also something that we need to talk about. I've seen where people argue, someone was saying, oh, it is a banter. When people say the World Cup was rigged for Messi, it is a banter. The other one was like, no, it's not a banter. And then they will not make reference to a certain Louis van Gaal, that Louis van Gaal made a comment that it was rigged. Louis van Gaal is a coach, a professional coach for so many years. If Van Gaal genuinely believed that World Cup was rigged, the Netherlands would not participate in that tournament. The game between Netherlands and Argentina in that last World Cup was one of the most heated. There were tensions high and all that. Similar to what we saw yesterday in the Egypt game. There was anger. It's also similar to what Ronaldo fans are doing. Ronaldo leaves the World Cup a day. Emotion, I see a lot of them crying. Right? Those who believe that, oh, Ronaldo is the greatest of all time because he has 6 packs, he's handsome, he donates blood, everything else but football. And I've also noticed a trend that there seem to be a lot of female content creators who are Ronaldo fans. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. It is not making sense, right? Maybe this is just a case of having a crush on somebody. I understand. It's okay. But that does not make him the greatest of all time. So these are issues. Now, on this current World Cup, right? When the World Cup draw was made, no problem. Portugal had DR Congo, in their group. And these were matches. In fact, when you look at the Portuguese squad, I made a video and I said, this squad is likely the favorite to win the World Cup. If you look at the Portuguese squad, top, front to back, everywhere, they had the best of the best. So naturally, they were like the favorite to win the World Cup. You understand? So what happened? They didn't take care of business on the pitch. Argentina won 3/3, which placed them on the side in that bracket. Portugal was also supposed to be in the Argentina bracket, but they couldn't finish top of their group. They couldn't do the job on their group, which now placed them somewhere else, where they had to now meet Spain. Their own decision, their own choice. Except you will tell me that Ronaldo is also trying to help Messi win the World Cup. Or the Argentina players, the Portuguese players turned off, stopped playing because they wanted Messi to also win the World Cup. Except that's the argument, right? It doesn't make sense. Now let's look at the Egypt game yesterday finally, because the whole process and that if Argentina didn't win all the matches in their group, maybe they would have found that they would have been the one playing Spain on the other bracket. That's how it works for people with brain, right? People who think. And like I said again, thinking requires effort. You are a Ronaldo fan, yes, but sometimes you can also think. It's painful. Your love for Ronaldo, Messi is always making him look bad and all that. Yeah. You're a human being. It's okay. But try and be saying the truth. Because as much as this is football, some of you sound so dumb in trying to defend Ronaldo and trying to criticize Messi, especially when they come up with these conspiracy theories. The problem with conspiracy theory is that you say it out of anger, you say it because you don't even believe in it, you just want to piss people off. But anything you practice consistently for 3 weeks becomes a pattern. You start believing it. Your IQ don't go with that on every other issue apart from football. You understand? These are things people need to get, people need to know. The game in the Egypt game yesterday, oh, Argentina rigged it. There were 3 incidents, right? Argentina scored 3 goals, sweet, beautiful goals. You want to undermine those goals. You want to play them down. The penalty that you said they should have been given to Mo Salah, even Salah didn't call for penalty. Salah lost the ball. From those of us that watched the match with our eye and with our brain, right? Salah lost the ball, and then he kicked the Argentine player and fell. He already lost the ball from the highlight. You guys saw it. I hope that maybe as you have slept and woke up now, your brain is clearer now. And the other one is Alvarez. Alvarez made contact with the ball before the Egyptian player, so that was why the ref didn't give it or call for it. On the other hand, the Argentine goal that was cancelled, even you guys are posting the pictures and videos clearly stating that there was a contact on Martinez. There was a match. And in all these scenarios, the Egyptian players did not complain. Secondly, Egypt scored the first goal, scored the second goal, which was cancelled for that foul, and then scored a second one that they were leading 2-0. If the Egypt second goal was not cancelled, they wouldn't have scored the second goal. So it is not. There was no way it would be 3-0. It would still be 2-0. One was cancelled. That's why they were not able to score another one. Now it is painful when you bottle 2-0. As the Egyptian coach, your job is on the line, so you have to play. You have to play the victim. You know your job is on the line for bottling 2-0. The other African teams are the real men. They took responsibility. They bottled it. In case of Senegal and the rest, they blamed themselves. The Senegal national team almost fought because they blamed themselves. But in this case, the Egyptian coach knows that he will be fired for bottling a 2-0 lead. He had to play, of course. If not, you don't call. Your job is on the line. You have to do something. So you have to, start saying crazy things. Bottling 2-0 is painful. So you have to play something else. Right? In the same game we watched, look at the assist Messi created. Look at the beautiful goal Messi scored. All these things should be watered down because Ronaldo was eliminated and we never win the World Cup his entire life. It's painful. But that's not Messi's fault. Right? That's not Messi's fault. And again, finally, Ronaldo fans are the reason why people disrespect Messi. Let me say it in this video. Ronaldo fans, when you play down Messi's achievements and all these things, people will take it out on Ronaldo and you start crying. So it will continue. Nobody hates Ronaldo. It's not about Ronaldo. It's about his fans. That's the only way you get to his fans. You attack him. You say things like he's not in the top 10. Even though that may actually be true. That, he's not even the top 10 players of all time. So you pain the fans. That's the whole idea. So as long as you continue to play down Messi's greatness, Ronaldo go to collect. And the difference between both of them is that Messi already have a World Cup. So it doesn't really matter.